Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, your house a bit real rendah.
Yeah.
You're muting your mic. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just gathering myself. Kind of zone out a bit. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So to start off, basically, on the introduction to InVaLT 2021, basically we started off by looking at what was happening today. So during this COVID-19 pandemic, so we saw that a lot of actually we looked into the fact that during InVaLT 21, during the COVID-19 pandemic, everyone was hit. A lot of people was hit very hard, and especially some certain people we were hit very hard in terms of not being able to get a job. So we'll start from there. So you can see that from the second paragraph, it says that the job market is constantly changing because in the past, like 10 years ago, if you are a person who have relevant experience, you have good education and solid references, then then the chances of you having a job is quite high. But later on today, you can always see and you can always hear that a lot of the employers will also ask for creativity, problem solving, adaptability, leadership, emotional intelligence, as well as a relevant experience in the field. Only then you'll be able to pass the interview and able to land a job. So from this change, it already shows that the job market is constantly changing. So what we are trying to target here today is that the job market 10 years from now is going to be different from today. So which is why we wanted to look into this issue today. And so what we want to do in this InVaLT 21 is basically that we aren't able to go very deep and then teach them certain industry-specific skill sets, especially when our participants are very diverse and they are going to enter different fields. So we can't actually teach them the exact skill set that they want and they need for their future jobs. But there is actually certain skill sets that are general and very applicable to whatsoever field in the future. So we want to teach and want to expose the participants to these skill sets and help to equip them with this skill set so that it can give them a head start in the future. So moving on, we roll down to 2.0. Okay, so from this statistics, you can see that as of August 2020, the unemployment rate is very high. But as you can see, the light blue one is the most highest because of the one is about youth from age 15 to 24. So it's always been the highest throughout time. So this further supports that the youths today are the most vulnerable group when it comes to job employability. So yeah, so basically, and then you can see that the next paragraph, it says that it's also very worrying because although the youth today are the most vulnerable, we can still see that our generation is quite lacking when it comes to participation or exposure to certain industries which are booming today, like renewable energy, software as a service, and automation, just to name a few. So we need to look further into this, and then we want to see how to prepare them for the future job market. And yeah, going on. Kayla, can you? Yes, okay. So from here, we want to look at what exactly is technological transformation. So basically, technological transformation, you can see from the code here, is basically to migrate the customers to modern technology environments so that a company can react faster, reduce costs, and serve the customers better. And this can involve moving off a mainframe system to an environment that is agile and scalable, or helping organizations embrace the cloud and its many benefits. So this is just a very brief explanation, a very short explanation on what exactly constitutes technological transformation. Okay. So regarding the jobs, the 10 jobs that you can see here. So for information, these 10 jobs didn't exist 10 years ago. This was based on a website where was a website article which was written in 2016. So as you can see that since these 10 jobs didn't exist 10 years ago, it is very we can kind of assume that 2026 in 10 years from now, there will also be a lot of jobs that are very, very important, but they are not, they haven't been existent today. So this also supports the fact that the future is going to be, the future job market is going to be very different from what we have today. So with this technological advancement and all, it's actually accelerating a lot of digital transformation in the workplace. And this is because the employers want this digital transformation to happen. Want this digital transformation to happen because of the points you can see here. Because during the pandemic, the workers are still able to continue with their work via remote from their own homes, and then it ensures that even though that the workers are not able to come together in a workplace to work together, the information flow is not broken and internal communication can still be achieved. And it also boosts productivity, facilitates effective workplace management, and facilitates business continuity and post-pandemic recovery, so that when the pandemic is over, they can ideally get back to their original operations faster, and this is more flexible. So next we'll be looking at how has this technical transformation affected all the sectors, and how does this subsequently impact the job demand. So next we'll be looking at the various data that we found in various fields. So basically, you can see that McKinsey Global Institute stated that 375 million people around the world will have to change their occupational categories by 2030 because of automation. And then the manufacturing wise, you can see that factory workers will slowly and surely be replaced with automation and or high-skilled operators or engineers inspecting it on site. And then education wise, you can see that everyone is trying to incorporate all this Google Meet and all this Google Classroom, etc., into education. So and then law-wise, in the future, lawyers could be a lot of law research work can be replaced by artificial intelligence. And for retail and e-commerce, it's quite easy to say that retailers generally are not doing too well. Whereas those who have been tapping into e-commerce, they have been seeing that their revenue and of course their profit has been increasing with thanks to the e-commerce, although that we are in a pandemic today. And then for work-life integration, of course this might not be necessarily applicable to us, but Airbnb and Futures work of according to this report, it says that 77% of Airbnb's UK workers think that being able to work remotely is important. So as we improve our life standards, maybe this is going to be the new trend in Malaysia also. Although this is more applicable to maybe more advanced economics, I would say. Next, we'll look at next we'll be looking at data as a resource. This is to further support why we chose some of the topics that we wanted to talk as the 3 pillars. The 3 pillars later JJ will explain. So data as a resource. So basically, as you can see, using big data, Netflix has saved 1 billion per year on customer retention by making use of the data that they collected. So this shows how important is data in the world today. So as technology is incorporated into the operations of company, so basically in the past we don't have when we don't have so much application in technology, we won't have so much data. But today, as it's getting more and more relevant to use technology in whatsoever field, it has really come out with a side product, which is data. So this data alone is actually useless, but if used correctly and used properly, it can actually be a very, very strong resource that can help any party with a certain goal. So I can't really define the goal, but as you can see here, one of the examples of how it can be used is like Netflix using the data to help them retain customers. And so this proves that how to make use of this data is very important. And some other applications you can see that in the medical field alone, the similar set of data can actually be given to different parties, and then it could give rise to different benefits. For medical providers, they could help them to control costs, improve accuracy, and help with earlier detection of diseases and estimate treatment progress. Whereas the same set of data given to pharmaceutical companies can help them with R&D for better medicine. And then for insurance companies, they can use that data to personalize insurance packages and help to estimate disbursement costs. So yeah. And then moving on is about risk management. So I think everyone is more or less know about the Lehman Brothers, which went into liquidation in the 2008 subprime mortgage crisis. So what happened there was that basically they were already warned about incoming financial crisis, but they chose to ignore it, and which in the end resulted in their own bankruptcy. So it shows us how important it is, no matter how big or small your organization is, for you to have a contingency plan. And yeah, I'll elaborate later on why risk management is important, but here let's just sufficient to say just that yeah, we don't want to repeat what the Lehman Brothers are doing. Then the next is the spirit of entrepreneurship. So basically, this scientist at 3M, he was actually doing an experiment to produce a extremely strong adhesive to use in aerospace technology. But instead, he came up with a light adhesive that stuck to surfaces that didn't leave a nasty residue. So, in fact, he failed in his experiment, but he didn't give up on that new invention, and he had actually made it to become the post-it notes that we know today. So this is just a very small story that I inserted to explain about entrepreneurship. So basically, 3M, we all know that 3M is a very rather well-known company that is it's very well known for its adhesives and all. So but that doesn't stop them from coming out with new products and new solutions to be provided to their customers. So we are trying to say that as we go on in the future, as we go on in the future, because of we are trying to say that entrepreneurship is the way forward because it unlocks a lot of new opportunities. So actually, in our last set of our data presentation, there was actually issues regarding like job mismatch and so on, and there was actually a lack of high job skills in the Malaysian market itself. So we are trying to say that if entrepreneurship could be a solution to that, and at first we wanted to, at one point we actually talked about entrepreneurship, but a lot among our own, we were actually quite reluctant to do so because one, entrepreneurship, we might not be able to do a program out of it so well compared to certain parties outside there, and also because we don't want to, and as we all know, entrepreneurship could result in a lot of the success rates are not so high. So what we want to do instead is that we want to expose them to such a mindset and maybe try to encourage people to instead go into an entrepreneurship method instead. So basically, they can go to whatsoever companies, and then they can make use of the resources that is available in those companies, and then armed with the the skills, the technical know-how of technological application, and how to analyze data, and how to make use of data, and how to control risk, and use all these skills to combine that with entrepreneurship mindset to actually produce solutions that can help their existing company to tap into new markets, or invent new solutions, or venture into a new field, and that would actually solve a lot of issues. Like on the company side, like as you can see in the last paragraph, this would be able to help solve the problem of lack of funding, because in entrepreneurship setting, a lot of people need to raise funds. But if you do it in an entrepreneurship setting, maybe a lot of the company the company you're working for, they do have funds in some cases, but they don't know where to make use of it. So if you are I guess you know what I mean. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kayla. Can you? That's okay. Never mind. Maybe I'll pass it to JJ to talk about the first three pillars. The three pillars. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Kayla, maybe I'll just share the screen. Yeah.
Oh, yes, sure. Okay.
Oh my God. I thought you got your hair. Very cute, huh?
Me without an agile and without style, it's like that.
Okay. All right. You guys can hear me clearly, right? And the screen okay, right? Okay,
Yes.
Okay. So as just now Goshen mentioned, we have three key pillars. So I will be presenting the first two pillars, and the third pillar will be presented by Kayla. So for the first key pillar, we say that the focus area 1. So it's a technological transformation. So under this focus area, right, we have two subtopics. The first one is open to innovations. And second one is the data interpretation and analysis. I believe that the problem statement Goshen have go through, so I will just go a very quick one. So in the subtopic 1, right, open innovations. So in this subtopic, we want to walk along our participants with a panel sessions. Why panel session is basically regarding that, okay, so the COVID-19 pandemic changed the way of humanity works, and also this, yes.
No worries.
No, it's okay, just go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So this one, it also creates some opportunity, but the new opportunity, right, is actually shifted the, change the way that how the technology is adopted in the industry. And actually this one is like have a rapid shift of a skill set in most industry, because they already reform, restructure, and transform within the organization itself. So we want to have a panel session to prevent a mismatch of skill set between the fresh graduates and the job market. So this pillar, the methodology is regarding industry panel session. So since I talk about the panel session, so I will go into the activity descriptions, which is already curated. So this one will be 1 hour and 50 minutes. So we will be having 3 questions on one topic that we haven't decided, but we have 3 questions and 20 minutes of Q&A session. So plan to have 3 industry speakers and 1 HEYA moderator. And since after the panel sessions, right, we will have a breakout room sessions to break our participants into the breakout room to set their goal before the.
Hey, wait a minute. You all have confirmed that you'll go on virtual, Alfred. What's the decisions?
We haven't really confirmed, but heads up, it's more towards physical.
Yeah, okay, right. I understand. Then this is just for contingency plan and flexibilities, lah.
Okay.
No worries. We can work on both.
Okay. Can. Then I think I just continue with the content. So just avoid. I just ignore the logistic part. Okay. Yeah. So for the breakout room session, right? So they will have a goal setting. So for the goal setting, right, actually is they will need to set their career goal on like how they define themselves as a future ready workforce, and what is their strength and what is the skill that they must be possessed to that contribute to their goal. So this will be done in the goal setting lah. Then I think the panel session and no need to go so deep because I think it's like an ordinary one. So we will walk through them with the topic that we haven't decided, which is about the technology stuff.
Okay, so your open innovation is focusing on skill sets, right?
Want to walk through them with the industry, what the industry demanded, especially skill part. So the industry have here, I cited here. So we have robotic automation, e-commerce, logistics, healthcare, cloud computing, and cybersecurity. So these are the few that we focus.
I would rather you go a step further on talking about how these skill integrations, what's the effect of these skill integrations and how it change your competencies. I think that would be more feasible in a way, because if you just talk about what you're talking about, cloud computing, cybersecurity, you're not going to describe too much about what is that, right? I mean, of course, you're going to tell people a little bit on what is cloud computing, cybersecurity, but I think people would like to know a little bit more about what is the end effects and outcome of the integrations, how it would transform your skills into another level. That is the thing, sort of more attractive in a way. So you're not going to find some very technical person to come and talk about it, because 20 minutes if you're talking about technical things about cloud computing, cybersecurity, that is a no, because you're not going to understand it in 20 minutes, right? So you're more talking about the outcomes, the skill outcomes, and the end integration, and how this integration would boost the core competency and fits into the future markets.
Okay.
Right. So this is something that you would need to look into, so right?
Okay.
Right.
Very nice. This one, Anthony Tan.
I have direct contact with Edward Links. I can WhatsApp him, but Anthony Tan, then you will need to write emails. I mean, this is just something crossed my mind. I just throw in only. It is not a must that for you to take it, but definitely not from people from VTrucks for these slots, right? Okay, I saw the message over in the program room, and I saw VTrucks. I was like, right.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I think the subtopic 1, okay, good. If okay, then I move on to subtopic 2.
For the activities, for the goal settings,
goal setting.
It depends on how you want to do it. I don't have much concerns in a way, but I could really give you all extra options. That goal setting theory can be really, really advanced. I think some of you attended my managing a team, right? That is just like a very, very, very elementary kind of things. If you are to go for a very advanced goal setting theories, you can come in a full-fledged. But it depends on how you want to integrate that. If you don't want to do goal setting here, you can integrate this into other sides of it. But let's go through the whole thing first.
Because like
don't reference managing a team. Managing a team is just elementaries. All right.
Yeah, I was thinking like the goal setting is like because this will be the first session. So like during the first session, they already know that what they want to achieve in this InVaLT. So like it's like have the head there.
Okay, all right. If you do in such a way, then perhaps it works. All right. It is not like it is a key, a key for them to open the door to go to the next slots. And I think that will fine. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
You can find till latest. I'm just throwing my opinions. Yeah.
Okay. Nice one. All right. So in subtopic 2 is regarding data interpretation and analysis. So in this, right, I think the trend is everyone is obvious. Like the big data analytics is utilized to capitalize the data to improve the process. So like the people are expected to have more analytical skill to approach the problem in a like analytical way. So it is not just like that, but also you need to communicate the complex information to those people who are without expertise with the insights from the data. So from these sessions, right, we would like to walk through our participants with a sharing sessions and a mini case workshop. All right. So how does it work, right? So these sessions will be 2 hours long. So if you're beginning with 40 minutes of public talk, 40 minutes of mini case study, 30 minutes of presentations, and just debrief. I mean, so our resources required is one representative of the from data related industry, and maybe we can have 2 judges from the industry that we invited, and depends on how many group we have. We need facilitator for the group lah. So I named the session as Beyond the Insights. So this session is actually one to walk through our participants with application of data insight in corporations and how the value of data in making a business decisions. So a disclaimer here is actually this session is not a coding session. So we will like, this is a suggested corporation that we can bring lah, like Axiata, Sunway, those. Yeah, so or maybe you can bring any data industry subject matter for the 40-minute public talk session to share on the topic on how the data analytics is used for business intelligence and how the participants can be more prepared for the trend, especially data analytics part. Okay, so this is a public talk. So moving on to the case study part. So they will be broken up into group and into a specific room. Then they will like, this session actually want them to gain analytical skill and data interpretation. They don't need to do coding. So they will be given a raw data in Excel file that curated by our team and together with the trainer. Then from the Excel file, they need to analyze and visualize the data. So as mentioned, no coding required. So from the data, right, they need to give explanation behind the charts and do some data like metric-driven decisions. So to give a very quick example, is like maybe you give them a raw data regarding a flight data. So they need to, based on the flight data, they need to decide how AirAsia need to, let's say AirAsia, how AirAsia need to cancel which kind of route to actually still can prevent much loss and yeah, something like this. So they need to, with the data, then make a decision. Okay, so this simulation, right, just want to give them a better understanding of the business context as well as how they integrate the insight into the business decisions. So after that, they will, with the group that they consolidated in a slide deck, they will need to present for 5 minutes and 3 minute Q&A from our industry's expert. So the sessions will be wrapped up with the debrief from industry people.
How long is this session that you plan?
Currently minimum 2 hours. It can be extended based on the availability of the, I think the allocations of the transition of between the activity. But minimum 2 hours.
You are using 40 minutes to do a 30 minutes presentation. It doesn't really make sense, right? I mean, okay. For you to present something,
yeah,
to present something in 30 minutes length, you definitely need more than 40 minutes, right? I mean, this is some of the loopholes that
actually, like, yeah, you are right. But in physical, we couldn't do that because like I was curated based on a breakout room. So breakout into 3 rooms. So each group will have 3 to 4 groups. So each group will like spend around 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So this is. Yeah.
I was trying to say, if you want to do this might be a little bit more. This might really be a little bit technical. You can do that. I think should not be a problem. But I'm trying to bring you to another. Wait, just a moment. Let me share you a link.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry about that.
Okay. So this link, okay. So how would you like to explain or anything, or just?
Sorry, my mic was mute.
Okay. So
so there's a few analogy and how you could actually manage talking about data interpretations and how you look into data. Now, one of the way is like do what you're doing. You are doing basically a statisticians or business consultant analytics works, which I am really doubting whether you can finish it within 2 hours. Especially in virtuals, I really doubt that. Okay, but another way, but I think if you want to do that, that is still feasible. But you need a lot of fine tuning and review on the things. But another way of things you can do is like the fish and chip. If you could open back the fish and chip things, so it is actually another perspective on telling people how you look into data, how fish and chip stores in UK actually related to the supports for Brexit, right? So that the whole analogy behind is when the intensities of the fish and chip shop is higher, it means that community is less diverse. It is mainly all those white Christian people, and they attend to supporting more on Brexit. Now, what does this analogy actually bring out? Now, it is a macro view on how you actually unveil the stories or unveil the truth safe behind those data. Right, so you always have a bunch of data, but how are you going to unveil whether that data is correct? So, nowadays people like to, but give us just one example. Pfizer is putting up a whole bunch of RCT, randomized control trial data that they have conducted on the vaccine. But how true is that data? Right? Is there any loopholes that you can actually look into, and what's the skills on that? Right, that is, and also you can actually relate these to macroeconomics. How these macroeconomics actually reflect certain things, something like this. So this might be an alternative option that you might want to adopt in a way. Reason being, the things that you propose now is good, but it really is really technical, and you might need a little bit more time to adapt to that.
Understood. So based on your suggestion, is it like we just give them a visualize data, then from that they need to do some recommendation?
It depends on what is your setting and what is your time allocated. If you have ample time allocated for them to to drill through the data and do something proper, then perhaps your suggestion might be a good one. Yeah, if you are a limitation of time, but you want them to pick up the essence on data interpretation, then the Brexit case, some sort of things like this I shared to you, that might be a good choice.
True.
Right. I'm looking at the time constraints, by the way.
Okay. All right. I think we'll curate after we got the finalized mode of the conducting. Yeah. So the evaluation criteria, just 3 stuff: analysis, recommendation, and presentation. Okay. So I think I move on to focus area 2. Okay. So for focus area 2 is about adaptive thinking, as also known as agile thinking. So we have 2 subtopics. One is corporate risk management, another one is entrepreneurship. So I will go about corporate risk management first. So here are some of the problem statements stating that a lot of businesses actually there are inflexibilities when they deal with the external threats, and due to this factor, right, we want to give our participants some experience about how actually they can address the issue, especially risk, anticipate and mitigate the risk, and from there, right, how they can innovate beyond the risk to turn the risk into opportunity. So for this subtopic, actually, the methodology is similar to the previous one, which is public doc and mini case study. Then I will go through the activity details. So also 2 hours the methodology is same. Okay, so for activity descriptions, right? So it is about crisis management in the corporate. So like how actually like want to make them to understand how to avoid those like crisis stuff. So we will have people to talk about crisis management framework within the organizations, and like how like maybe like I was suggesting loop holding T-Life like how they turn the risk into a new business opportunity. I think this is just a random one Yeah, we can have a better one. Okay, yeah. So want to share. I mean, we want them to share their experience regarding how they deal with the risk of pandemic and how they identify and analyzing, do the risk mitigation and innovate beyond the threats. So this will be covered in the public talk sessions. Then after the public talk with all the input, right? So they will be work on a mini case study that curated by us together with the corporate. Then every group, so the group itself will role play as an organizations. Like they will be given either F&B, MB, or maybe tourism or anything Yeah, a role play as an organizations and a given risk scenario. So from there, they need to identify, analyze, and rank the risk. So after done this, they need to plan some mitigations and propose a recommendations on how they can what is the corporate strategies and how this could be maximize the revenue, even it is pandemic, something like this. So this will be in a case study part. Then after that, it's a presentations. The format is same, 5-minute presentation, 3-minute Q&A. And the session will be end with the debrief from the judges. So I think the presentation time might change due to the time also. But this is a rough idea on how the corporate risk management sessions will be conducted. Yeah. So any comment on that? Yeah.
I don't have. Maybe the rest. I'm not sure whether you have one.
Okay. Okay.
For the previous one, right? We're doing public talk and mini case study, right? So we're giving them a small model to work with. Like there's a model to follow. Like for example, like the analysis part, analytical skills. Are we giving them models so they can refer? And risk management, are we going to teach them how to weight their risk and stuff like that, like a model to refer, or we are just going to share based on experience from the speakers?
Okay. So basically, we will for that one. Actually, there is a template. It's a crisis management template. So it will start with the impact of the crisis, then like action, the mitigation plan, the action to be taken to mitigate the risk, and what is the result that expected to achieve. So this is a very just go through I think there could be something more, but this is just based on my research just now. So got 3 elements in this crisis management. I think we will prepare a template for them. They just need to fill up. So the group facilitator will guide them during the workup session.
There's a lot of templates, so you need to choose through whether you want FMEA or HARP or whatsoever.
I just impact from the risk, then impact from the risk, actions to be taken, and the key expected result. Okay, so this is the 3 one. Okay, so if no, I will move on to the entrepreneurship. Okay, so entrepreneurship is, I need to word it properly, otherwise it's very sensitive. Okay, so entrepreneurship is something like entrepreneurship within an organization. So this is some of the research that I've done. Is like there is like changes of the workforce that like more and more organizations, right? Those like conglomerate, those like Sunway, those like Asia, they actually shifted their business model into diversify one, like Grab also. So this trend actually tells us that in an organization itself, right, they are actually innovating beyond their own field. They are trying to diversify their business and make their arm bigger. So in these sessions, like we want to prepare youth on how they can actually like build them with an entrepreneurial mindset, like teach them to how with flexibility, think critically, adapt quickly to the new opportunity and challenges, like based on the market demand. Then come out some like business opportunity. So from here, right, actually I haven't curated activity descriptions, but I have a rough idea. I just like quickly run through. So it will be a public talk on, I suggested is maybe from Startup Malaysia. So regarding like, it can be Startup Malaysia or it can be any representative of the corporate conglomerates, such as like Grab, such as Sunway, like, or even Asia, like Asia got Air Asia, got Flight, got this, got that. So got logistic also. So like they are a big corporation. So want them to share about how they are actually, their corporate culture like emphasis on entrepreneurship stuff, and what is their approach, and like something like inspire our individuals to think out of the box. Then, okay, so I researched about the framework It's a 3C framework. So the framework is, you can see at the appendix here. I attached the citations. Okay, so 3C, right? This is a consulting framework. So the 3C is the company, competitions, and customer. So whether a company want to diversify and to expand their business, they need to consider maybe several perspectives.
By the way, guys, you all need to keep it short a little bit because I need to leave at 9:30. I'm supposed to leave at 9, by the way, but I just should a reminder to you all.
Okay. I think, okay, then I think this one I will not go through. You guys just refer to the link. I will go very fast. Okay.
By the way, when you talk about entrepreneurship, just a moment.
Yeah.
When you talk about entrepreneurship, there's a few very interesting things that you probably want to go through. It is also connected to goal setting theories and also some of the rest of the things. I would suggest that rather than you put it under kind of a corporate inputs, I would suggest you would look for some people like Dr. Shen's, which can bulldoze you and bring you through thoroughly on what is the key essence of entrepreneurs and how we want to cultivate it and put that into actions. Right, because you need to look into different contexts, because in certain point corporate input is very important, but in these entrepreneurs, you can't just take one corporate for examples. You probably need a more structured way to approach what is the key things, and so I would suggest that you all do through bulldoze it through a professional trainings.
Oh, professional training. Like find a professional trainer.
Make it a professional training rather than corporate against. It's a little bit overwhelming in terms of that.
Okay, understood. Okay. For the activity part, I was thinking to have simulations, like such as in a group itself, maybe we have several people, like 6 people. So everyone will have holding different positions, but you can skip that part, because this part I think you need to review. Right? If you are going through a trainings on that, then the trainings will also include some of the very customs design activities that provided by the trainers. Hey, so is it means that if we make it as a professional training, right, the activity content, like we just need to consult the professional trainer?
Yep, that is the case.
Okay.
Because entrepreneurs, I attended a course on this before actually. It involves talking a lot about things, including groupthink phenomena, how you've taken care changes and things, and you really need a systematic approach to look into that. If not, then it will be just have fun slots on.
Okay, understood. Okay. Yeah, I think my part like this. So pass to Kayla. Kayla, would you?
Before that, I think you have a misconception on intrapreneurship. Intrapreneurship got nothing to do with what you've been mentioned just now, conglomerates. I don't see there's any relationship between the conglomerates and with the intrapreneurship.
Why? Can you give some justification?
Because there is no relationship. How you relate? And there is one more thing, I think you all have a misconception on the diversification. Like let's say you say, hey, sure, go to do something else. And usually they go and do something else. It's not because merely diversification, it's because they have something that can join. It is something like joint venture. If it is nothing that, if there's no relevancy, they cannot do one. I think you all have a misconception, not because you are in business A, then you want to go and do B, so you go and buy their company like that. I don't think it works. So usually we call this as M&A. When we are doing M&A, usually it's upstream or downstream or side to side. When side to side is that you are expanding your market share. So I think you have a different understanding on this. And there is nothing to do with the intrapreneurship. Intrapreneurship is within the community, within the corporates. So there's nothing to do with the conglomerates.
To clarify that, right? Actually, like Asia, they have several businesses, but actually under Asia. Yeah. So I think it is something related to the entrepreneurship, but I think I will need to do some more research about whether it is like acquisitions or what. Yeah.
It is more as a Kaizen thing. I don't think it is about something, and of course it is relevant to money, to save money, to improve the efficiency, and to decrease the cost. All these things, I don't think it's something to do with the conglomerates thing. The one is capitalism already.
Anyway, I have just snapshot some of the entrepreneurs training that I have attended before. It's a very complex, not to say complex, it's a very interesting trainings on how you actually make into changes, force through changes, and how you manage the team, embedded properties, and transformational leaderships. I think this is a very interesting topics. It is something that you should venture into. But like I say, you should come in a very training. It must be a professional trade. I think I shouldn't use the word in must, right? I use the word in must because I attended this very powerful trainings before by Dr. Shen's when I was working in Agilent Technologies. This is a training for managers, senior managers. I was lucky to slip into without the HR realizing that I exist in the trainings. So it is something that I think I would highly recommend for this. But you need to shift the formats into trainings to look into, how you actually command transformational leadership, which I think is very close to what Kayla is going to present. You might need to look into some of the mix and match and merging.
Okay.
Yeah, you can look into the snapshot that I share. I think this is boom. Right. I would say very useful.
Okay. Can. Okay. Miss Kayla?
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay. You want me have to share screen?
Yeah, can also you share screen also can.
Okay.
Okay, so like after all those technical stuff that JJ Guoshen talked about, and and now the third pillar that we will be focusing on is more on soft skill, more on like people relationship kind of thing. So my flow is kind of like you can see the comment here. Like we have 3 subtopic, but we are thinking that we might want to join subtopic 2 and 3 together, but depends on whether it's suitable to do so or not. So the flow is, at first so our theme is on employability. like to increase our employability. So our flow is like, at first we want to, if you want to get a job, you have to land a job, and then you have to search for a job. And in the process of searching for a job, it is important that we have a very extensive networking, I would say. And hence there is where we come with like having this networking. Our subtopic is networking and personal branding. So in this networking part, what I was thinking is we want to, okay, this idea is stolen from the slides JJ shared in our last meeting. It's more on like how to set up our LinkedIn account, and on how do we establish a better connection after establishing a good network or connection with people from the industry, professionals from the industry that we are going to join in the future. We will also focus on how to keep the networks alive, and also we want to give participants an insight on how to grab opportunities to connect with professionals from the industry. So that's the first part. And then we will also be under the personal branding part. We will our plan was to teach them interview skills, to teach the participants interview skills. We don't have like in detail yet what we want to teach, but the reason why we came out with this teaching them interview skill was because Fieldwork is proposing a session where they want to have like an interview for the participants, like for them to have like an actual interview, like mock job interview kind of thing. So I think it's nice for us to either give insights to the participant before that session, or we can put it after that session from Fieldwork, like we wrap up everything for the participants. So it's like the participants will be more sure of what is happening, and they, other than they performing, they also get feedback from their performance. Yeah. Okay. So that is yes, how
I one of the headache you will have is because we actually do this mock interview before in InVaLT 2018.
Oh, okay.
So you might want to slightly look into alternative, or we will need to look into how we can do it even better.
Okay.
Yeah. I will not totally say a no, but I just want to make sure that we did better than what we had before.
Okay. Got it. Okay, JJ.
How can we refer to InVaLT 2018 details?
Just a moment. Just give me one moment. Let me see. Is it in Google Drive? I think so.
Sure. No worries.
Hey, Page didn't tell you, man?
No. I think from Fieldwork side, right, it can be a little bit different. What they were proposing was, by referencing to InVaLT 2020, we had a presentation prior to the final presentation. They edit and replicate that presentation prior to the final presentation and create a storyline that say, hey, you're going to present this case study to your boss. The whole case study will be designed by Fieldwork department. However, the boss does not want to meet you. He only wants to meet top 10. And that is where he has sent his secretary to sort of interview your proposal prior to the final presentation. So it's already a presentation that we are going to have. It's just that it's a presentation plus an interview session. So it's more like a group presentation. 8 of them are going to enter the room. They're going to propose their idea. And at the same time, we have a few panel judges who are going to ask critical questions related to the case study. And from there, we're going to analyze their reaction, emotion, gesture, the way they speak, the way they answer. And the best part is they do not know it. They just know that they're going to enter and present their idea. But after presenting their idea, from program department, they're going to wrap up the session and say, actually, we observed the way you observed the way you present your idea. You presented the idea, and this is what we found. And this is where they start, sharing their sessions. Instead of letting them learn first, we let them to be exposed to a real mock presentation/interview session. And after that, we correct based on what we observe. And this is reversing the way that we are normally teaching. Normally, we teach them first and then we give them a case study. This is a plan where we let them present first and then we analyze them and make some conclusions based on that.
it's a good thought, but if you talk about that, it's even more similar with 2018. We even get one of the very smart branding. I don't know what's his name already. Paige, you still remember? You still remember that folks that teach you about branding in 2018 when you're the participants? I don't really remember his name, but he is the one who do all the branding for the government PTD. Super powerful. But anyway,
Mr. Rudy. I think Mr. Rudy, right? Talking about the branding, is it Mr. Rudy?
Yeah, it's Rudy. You're right. Rudy Giuliani. Oh yeah. Hey, no, that's not the one.
The male or female?
The male one.
Rudy, what? I think it's Rudy lah. I forgot already. I think it's the first. I think first day speaker.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. I've shared you on InVaLT Drive. On 2018 InVaLT Drive, you can go and have a look.
Very nice.
Roaming session. Well, it's empty. Shit. What happens?
The fieldwork file kan, it's not empty.
No, not fieldwork. This guy, Rudy. We even invited him. Well, he is super powerful. Even your gesture, your whole packaging, and things, you can just look into. Anyway, I'm not saying that you cannot do back the same context, but you need to make we need to make a difference. All right. So have a look on the drive, and we can always discuss further. That's all.
Okay. Thank you. So do I continue?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So continue with our second subtopic, which is on leadership. Okay. So in our last department meeting, we were talking about Dr. Shen Ho as well. Yeah. So JJ, you don't fight with me, I okay. This is just our initial plan, but we are not too sure yet. So what we are thinking is we wish that we could have Dr. Shen Ho come and guide our participants to discover their respective leadership styles. Like different people might have different personality, and having different personality means that you will have different leadership styles. And only when we try to identify our own leadership style and eventually we will make the best out of our leadership style. And other than after identifying our own leadership styles, we also wish that the speaker could give a solid framework, like a method that is used by the speaker herself to teach or to coach people to be a very effective leader. So yeah, that's our second subtopic. I know it's not very in detail, but that's the brief idea of it. And the last one, the third subtopic is on organizational management skills. It's more on, so we addressed about all those technical stuff, and now we all know that working in a company or working for in a workplace, it is important for us to work with others. It's not that we are working alone. Even if we are working remotely, we still engage with others. We still have to cooperate with others. So under this subtopic, we will focus on communication skills and how to manage or lead a team, and most importantly also conflict management and negotiation in teams and organization. I think that's all.
It's like a 3-day trainings that you have just mentioned. So I mean, those topics you mentioned, it can pick up the whole 3 days, but it's okay, no problem. I think that's not the issue. We just need to pick it up. Okay. All right.
I think this one need to go through, or just like.
Let's talk about the fun part first. Maybe I'll talk first in a way. Let me open up. Let me share my screen.
Oh, okay, can.
Okay. So in overall, I think the three pillars. I don't have much. I don't have much issue. In general. Because whenever you are presenting, I'm actually cross-referencing back to. I have a benchmark. My benchmark is about this. So I'm trying to put back into what you are discussing. I think for point one is very clear. Among the trend, what we want to address, this is 70% clear. Why I say this is 70% clear? Simply because. Hey, wait. Oh, sorry. Simply because what is the trend that you want to address? I would take. I'm not sure whether is it your take, but my take is that you are using this to address that. Is it so? I suppose. Okay. Right. Or I help you to fit into the things. Right. So I try to put my understanding of what you all have talked about into the benchmark that I have put up for myself to gauge the quality standards. Okay. So I would suppose this is the things that you can put in when you talk about this. I still see my screen, right?
Yeah, can.
Right. So when you talk about this, you're actually addressing this thing. So this is the one of the 1/3 that I always mention, right? What world you are living into, right? What world you are living in that, right? So for this second part, data interpretation and analysis, like I say, you are putting it into. I personally think you are putting it in the too micro level. We don't really need that. But in a way, you might want to look into how to interpret this data in the macro situations so that people have more situational understanding. Now, let me show you another one, what I mean by this. So just now, regarding the Brexit, that is one of them. This is another one.
Are you showing something? Oh, okay.
This can be another things like if you are able to interpret the trend of those worldwide data. Why is this thing going up and down, things like this. So I would rather think that in this subtopic tools, your data interpretation and analysis should go in a macro way, addressing this the trend and things, because this would actually coincide a lot with this risk management, if you could ask me, right? This if you still want this, I think you should get this into this also. How you want to perform risk management based on data, right? If you want, this should come into this. All right. So this, I would say, it can fit into this. What's the strategy to review further issues? Okay. Then of course, entrepreneurship. And this one, I think there is a lot of connections to this leadership. I'm not sure that there must be a way. I think you will need to merge that, right? You will need to merge that. In fact, these two is linked. These two is linked. This subtopic, this leadership and this entrepreneurship that I share with you all is actually linked. It's just that entrepreneurship is a subset of this leadership, which you go into a more strategic and critical role. All right, if you could see the things. All right, organizational management skill. I think this is super cool, but you will need to arrange it in a proper manner, sir. All right. I would think the whole thing is working out well, but you might need to want to rearrange the things a little bit to further adapt into this thing. I'm not sure whether whatever I interpret is whatever you want to tell me, but I hope this is the case. Right. Is it so? And talking about the fieldworks, I will kind of a little bit surprised when you try to do kind of isolates, not to say totally isolates, but connected at the very end of your programs. So I'm trying to illustrate in such a way that what's the difference between program and fieldworks? I would say program. The fieldwork is a collaboration unit with program team where they are the implementation arm. When we say implementation arm, it means how you are able to take all those theoretical understandings and then put into applications and through fieldworks. So that might be some things that you want to look into. I think you will need to further polish on that on the fieldworks. Okay. Mock interview is not bad. Branding is not bad, but I want to tell you the truth is 2018 set a very high benchmark, especially on the branding parts. If you could see, you can Google the speakers that we invited, and I think you can also find the live video in Heya Facebook page. If I still remember that, you could see how crazy is that slot itself. It's the very first slot in 2018. Right? You have a look on that. It will give you some ideas. Right? And then looking into the last parts on your objective, you have 3 pillars. So probably you want to set only 3 objectives, and objectives should not come in the form of essays. You want to directly let participants know what are they going to pick up and in what chronologies, right? So one of the things, of course, you want to understand when you talk about the problems. Let me just put it in this. If you don't mind, I just.
Okay.
So in very clear, this is actually coinciding with what is the problem, right? So you're trying to tell people problem in the world that we are currently living. All right. So all these digital transformations, how it have changed and how it have caused our competencies to slip in a way. So if you don't change, you will die. So basically, this is the information that you want to bring through, and the messaging behind the slots, right? So if you are changing this slot, I'm not sure how you want to do this, but if you are changing this slot, then you actually want to address address the strategy, or you want to put it in such a way you want to provide a lens. So this second part, you're actually providing a lens, or a perspective, right? To look into the issues and the world described above, to prepare for robust solutions. Right? So in your focus area 2, your corporate risk management, so this is solution in terms of organizational, right? right? Entrepreneurship, this is solutions in personal focus. I'm trying to help you to, I'm not sure whether I'm doing the right thing, but I'm trying to arrange it into a more sensible ways, right? So you can see how the things actually flow. So you could see from here, you're telling people what's the world that we are currently living, what's the problem. Then you're providing them a tools or perspective on how you look into this thing. And then you go into organizational solution to solve the problem in an organizational way, right? Then you want to, and then you also provide how you want to solve the problem in a personal capacity focus. All right. All right. I think for Kayla, it's the same thing. Leadership, this is more like personal, right? Right. This is more like personal.
Yep.
And of course, this come here. Sorry. I think someone is cursing me that I just screw up the whole. So
school.
Normally I will duplicate a file, but I'm a little bit rushed today. So normally I will duplicate a file and I put my comments over there, but I'm a little bit rushed today, so just forgive me. Okay. Network and personal branding, actually I would rather you put into how you position yourself. Oh, sorry. In the competitive role. All right. So when you transition from organizations, all right. So you're talking about organizational solutions. Then after that, you want to transition to personal solutions. Then before you transition to personal solution, you want to talk on what is the prerequisites that you need to have. Networking. So not too much of personal branding, but I would rather use your word as core competencies. All right. Does it look a little bit more sensible? Yeah, the rest, any comments?
Okay, I will go first. Just not much comment. I will look through the program timetable at the schedule. I found that you are the last day. The speaker already you stated that YB the minister lah. Just a concern here is if the PRU the general election is held earlier than March, what will happen? Is it the Dr. Khairi Jamaluddin is still a minister? Also I will make a concern here about the speaker here. And then the second thing is the intrapreneurship. How do you, as I am the participants, or I couldn't find any point about the intrapreneurship related to the team. So think about that. How do you make participants more clearer about the intrapreneurship, the concept of intrapreneurship? I think most of the participants might don't know what is thing of intrapreneurship. Some of them they are maybe have do the research, some of them do not. Okay, that's all for my questions. Thank you.
Anyway, in overall, good job. I think things are pretty well structured in a way. It's just that you might need to have some tweaking here and there, right? I can say that other than tweaking around a little bit things, I don't think I can change anything more from what you have produced. Right? Good work.
Thank you very much.
The rest.
I think some comments from me. So also I think it's really good because how I see things can work so well in 1 month time. Although I know you guys are like gone through a bit of hell this month, but yeah, good job. Then the rest is just how we arrange it, just like how Zahao mentioned, and then we can make more sense and turn 70% into 100%. Yep, that's from me.
Do you all feel bad? Suddenly like very,
No. We are good. Boss, we are good.
Hey, Zahao, I want to ask, right? Mini case study, actually, are we the one that should be curate, or the field will work with us together, or how?
I give this question back to your team. It depends. It depends on what fieldwork setting is doing. At the end of the day, if fieldwork settings is I suppose it must be somehow related a little bit to whatever you all are doing. It can be a simulations of whatever you learn at the end of the day. Like what you all mentioned just now. But you must pull it closer. So I would suggest fieldwork really looks into what's the essence behind the mindset of program team behind, and and work it out together in a way. Right. I think some of the case studies it can either be done by field or program. It depends on what is the context. Now, for examples, if this case study is so important in a way that it is a stepping stone to the end product, then this is of course the fieldwork works. But this case study is just to enhance your speaker it's a small activities for you to able to remember what the speaker have said. Then this is under program. It depends on what is the context, and you all can decide this. It's not something that you should get us our consent or whatsoever. It's not the case, by the way.
Okay, understand. Okay. And I think just now I also have thought about I'm not sure, but I'm thinking to have a peer-to-peer evaluations and at the end of the day.
You can. In fact, we do a very interesting leadership. What do you call it? Leadership scoring before. We are scoring participants. We are taking best participants based on not their end presentations. It's like their ideas, their punctualities, their leaderships, things like this. I can share. You can look into. I think you all think alike, like 2018 people, because 2018 people, they are also doing that.
Interesting.
But that is really something very interesting. We are putting up stickers for people's. Let me just a moment. Let me just. I think I have the photo. Just hold on a moment. Not sure that whether I still have that, but I'll look for that and I'll just share to you all.
Okay, okay.
But that is a very interesting thing because we are opening up the canvas for everyone to present their, to evaluate. So all participants can evaluate each and every individual. If you think like, let's say JJ, you think Guoshen have very good leadership, you will give him a stickers. Right. You will give him a stickers of stars. Then if you think he's doing very bad, then even OCs or FASI will cancel off the things, cancel off for things that, and that is all openly stick on the wall. Yeah.
Nice.
Photos. Yeah, we have the photos. Very, very interesting one.
Okay.
Yeah, you can look into that. That is how we want to, that's how the best participants was selected at the end of the day by the score on the board. Right.
Okay.
I think that one you can, I can look for that and share you the things.
Can.
Yeah, any more questions? I need to lari kuat-kuat sudah.
No from me.
But they good jobs. I don't see a big revamp that you need, but you need to do some mix and match and picking up. Any question? I need to leave. No? If no,
None
right.
so far, yeah.
No, Cousin, no, Alfred, no, JJ, no. All right.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. You might want to. I would say if you can spend a little bit of time, just quickly rearrange the things, and I think you are really good to go. I just don't drag it too far because you might get confused. Just quickly do it when you are too fresh. Okay. All right. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Is that a wrap?
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year. Roshan, good luck for the exam tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Oh God, yeah, fish. Okay, thank you everyone. Sorry for today.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.